Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, with just one episode to go before we hit the next main pay-per-view. We have a lighter card for you. We're live indeed, good-o. So we'll get things started here with the BFG taking on his now almost arch nemesis, the Mystery, and there he is in the ring waiting for him. You can see the referee's giving him a talking to, and here comes the BFG, not even waiting for the ring bell to go. He's into the ring, he's assaulting his man. We saw, of course, last time around the Mystery come in and assault the BFG, pushes the referee out of the way, and now the BFG continuing the assault, stomping away here. He's ringing the bell out, he's throwing the match out. The BFG, you can see, not happy with that one. He just wants to inflict the punishment on the Mystery early doors as much as he can here. He had the embarrassment last time around, of course, of the Mystery coming down and assaulting him post-match, and now he's dishing out the punishment, much akin as to what he's already faced. Big axe handle across the back, and now the BFG's assault continuing. The poor Mystery here, just before the main pay-per-view, just before the Hardcore Championship match between these two, and the BFG happy to just assault his man in the ring, not looking to do any real damage to any real sense of combat. It's just an all-out brawl here, in and out of the ring, giving his opponent time, but punches him down to the floor again. He punched him square in the sternum, really, trying to maybe drive the air from his lungs. He's up now is the Mystery, a few furious chops there. You can see the referee helplessly watching on here. He's already thrown this one out. Big stomp to the back of the head from the BFG. These two content to just take it out on one another. It's less of a wrestling match, this more of just a straight up brawl. You see he's got a grip on the shoulder. Oh, whips the legs away though at the last second, the Mystery, before the BFG could do any nerve damage to the shoulder of the Mystery there. Picks him back to his feet now, gets hold of the arm and has him in the submission hold here. Can the BFG sustain himself in this? So he's not the position he would have wanted to find himself in. Managed to battle himself back out of it as the fresher of the two men, having not been on the end of a vicious assault, now driven into the corner, not where the Mystery wants to be. Now he's going to be dragged out of it, toes first, and dropped on his face. Of course, the Mystery, prior to the Tarantula being the only man in the KEW locker room to receive a stink face from the BFG, who's had two of them in his KEW career. He won't be looking for a third, let me tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. And going for that submission again, has it in. He's going to try and put the BFG to sleep here to try and escape potentially to the locker room. The BFG might be fading here. No, throwing the elbows at the last second to battle his way back out of this. He got a bit fortunate there as he scoops up the Mystery here and slams him down with his full body weight, crushing the Mystery, and finally security bring it to an end. Goodness gracious me, a battle between these two upcoming, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's thrown out pretty quickly, that one, so we'll move on to our next match for the evening. And this one will see James the Cat taking on the Yeti in what is a forecast towards the KEW Tag Team title match that will see the Coven taking on the Misfits for the KEW Tag Team titles, ladies and gentlemen. Here come the Coven then. Mr. Suge with a dark ally, James the Cat, ready and raring behind her. James the Cat, of course, will be ready and raring for this one. He had to watch on last week as his Coven leader was put to the sword by the KEW champion. Now I'm sure he'll be eager to get back in the ring, get to grips with things. Try and battle his way back for Coven dominance. as James the Cat worships his Dark Lord, his Dark Mistress, sliding through the leg. The Coven are here, the Coven are ready. But is James the Cat fully prepared to deal with the powers of the Yeti? Time will tell. The KEW champions been a bit missing the tag team champions in recent weeks, and KEW, they've been waiting patiently to have an opportunity to inflict a bit of punishment on someone, waiting for someone to come through the KEW tag team rankings. They thought it might be Safety Squared. It turned out it wasn't, and it was the Coven. And the Misfits there with the tag team titles around their waist. This, of course, singles action.
247 pounds, one half of the tag team champions.
The Yeti making his way to the ring. The tag team champions looking to really rub in the face of the number one contending tag team. They are the champions. They're holding the silverware. They're going to go out of the KEW pay-per-view Big Bird's Bash with those Big Bird tag team titles around their waist still. Casual high five there from them. And they are ready and motivated to go, especially the Yeti. He'll be here defending those belts next week, of course. And for now, defending the tag team's honour against James the Cat. A good sparring contest this one should be then, and maybe a bit of a foreshadowing as to what we might see. Of course, the Coven does have a deep resource, so if the Coven don't like what James the Cat puts on display here, he might be substituted out for the tag team championship match. He's got himself in the position to be there, potentially with the Tarantula, but you have to question whether the Tarantula will be the one to make the KEW potential championship opportunity, or whether it will be the favoured attack dog of the Ploughman. James the Cat starting well here. Of course, cats and dogs don't always play well together, so with the favoured attack dog not be a best alliance for James the Cat? Would it be better if it was the spider of the Tarantula rather than the attack dog of the Ploughman? And see James the Cat waiting here patiently as he shoves the Yeti down on the outside. Roll to the outside. Miskasuch picks him up out there, and now lifted high backdrop there. He was put in position for that by, of course, the Witch Mother herself. Looked like the Turkish Mountain was up to the apron as well. I'm not sure what he was doing up there. And oh, James the Cat driven into the steps. And now the Yeti looks to retreat into the ring for a modicum of safety as he waits for James the Cat to make his way back into the ring up to a 5 count. And James catches him cold. Well, cats him cold. That's a bit of a pun there for you, ladies and gentlemen. Drops him square to his spine. And now snap DDT there as well, driving the Yeti into the KEW matting as James the Cat looks to take advantage of this one here. Body splash there, driving his man into the matting. It's been all James the Cat so far, and you have to say, if this is a foreshadow of things to come, then I think the KEW tag team titles might be drifting away and back to the Coven here, ladies and gentlemen. The Yeti looks cold in this match here. A sledgehammer slid into the ring by the Witch Mother. Well, that's not going to do from the referee. Surely he's going to spot it. There we go. He heard it jingling around and gets rid of it now and tosses it out of the ring. Good referee and officiating there. Oh, went for the stunner, it looked like, and the Yeti caught him at the last second. Furious assault from the Yeti now, trying to reverse the fortunes. Big suplex there, driving his man across the ring. Goes for the cover as well. Now ramming the head into the mat. The Yeti not happy with his early performance here. It looks like he's trying to take some of that early momentum back out on James the Cat as he shoves him down to the floor as a la Stampy the Elephant here. James the Cat's now in a difficult position on the outside with the Yeti watching on from the centre of the ring. In comes James the Cat, big right hander from the Yeti. Now he has what might be a sleeper hold locked in, trying to put him to sleep. He has on the floor. Down goes James the Cat. Is he going to go to sleeper? He looks like he's got the elbows in and manages to roll his way out of it. But look at this. Has he got a pinning combination here from James the Cat? 1 count there. Good reversal from James there. Good awareness of the Yeti's body position being underneath him there. Managed to flip it over and pin the shoulders down. I thought he might have still had the chokehold locked in, and there's a vicious German suplex from James the Cat yet again, and only serves to break the momentum of the Yeti momentarily, whilst the referee's busy getting the turnbuckle back on in the corner there. Dropped onto the top rope there, and you can see the Witch Mother not happy with Acolyte in the ring here. Just a 1 count though, as James kicks out of that one pretty easily, and you can see the Turkish Mountain head in hands. Thought he had it done and dusted, and again the Yeti goes to the Yeti driver, and the Witch Mother's taking off that top turnbuckle again, goes for the cover, and you can see the Witch Mother desperate for a man to get a kick out, does just roll the shoulder at 2. Now can the referee go over and deal with the turnbuckle? Is that going to prove a distraction for James the Cat that he might potentially need here in this one? The Yeti's got him pinned in the corner with the Turkish Mountain here. The two of them really giving each other a good slobber knocker in ahead of their tag team contest, now rubbing the foot disrespectfully across the face of James the Cat. He rolls into the centre of the ring, and now James the Cat is in all kinds of bother here. And the Yeti looks like he might have taken control of this one, taking a breather on the ropes for a second there. Maybe he forgot it wasn't tag action, he was looking for his tag partner, and he's on the outside just giving him encouragement. Big uppercut there as he tells him to stay down once and for all, or maybe he's telling him he's got to put him down. Big crushing drive with the cheeks there, goes for the cover as well. 1, 2, 3, there it is. The Yeti pulls off the victory just before the KEW tag team titles will be on the line, and the Yeti and the Mountain, they are happy with that victory there. They've knocked off the coven. They say it's only a matter of days before we'll be doing exactly the same again in 2-on-2 action. We'll take on the coven and we'll flatten them pretty resoundingly for those tag team titles we'll be holding on to. Thank you very much. They look very arrogant here. The Witch Mother, you can see on the outside, didn't look particularly happy, shaking her head around on the outside. Does that mean that James the Cat is going to get substituted out here? Well, we've seen the Witch Mother try and take on the Mountain before, and it's not been a good display. We'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen, who she elects to send out to face the pair of them in only a few days' time. But we'll move to our last match for the evening then, and that'll be the Man Crusher taking on Mark. This again has potential ramifications here for this one, with the KEW hierarchy, I'm sure, desperate to try and get the KEW title off of the current KEW champion, and saying that this is a potential #1 contenders match. If she's able to knock off the KEW champion, that surely has to prove she's worth a KEW title shot at the pay-per-view. She's come up through the power rankings, ladies and gentlemen, and now she's sitting at the forefront here. Of course, the Demon is going to be taking on the Irish King Daddy. We know that already. Off the on the orange box he goes to the torpedo there, and there he goes, steps off it swiftly, makes his way down to the ring with his beloved. He'll be ringside to watch her taken into the action here, ladies and gentlemen. So even with the defeat to the Shinigami, she may now sit as the #1 contender here, ladies and gentlemen, because she has the availability, because she has the option. If she can beat the KEW champion, she may well get the shot at the KEW title. Time will tell, or will it be another resounding victory for the KEW champion? You'll have to question whether he'll be distracted a little bit by the torpedo on the outside. Of course, had a dealings with the torpedo in the start of the torpedo's KEW career. She looks motivated and focused here as the KEW champion will make his way to the ring. Of course, the torpedo pulled off a cheeky slap on that man there. Back when he was just Mark the Magnificent. Now, in his guise as the Skeleton King, we've really seen him rise. He's taken on this vindictive, evil almost approach to his oppositions. Nobody has come close to being able to pry that championship out of his hands in recent weeks in the KEW. And the question mark remains then, can anybody knock off the KEW champion in time to potentially wedge the door open for a last-minute title shot? Or is he going to slam the door shut once and for all on that here? We thought it was slammed shut last week. Management keep changing the rules on the Skeleton King, which I'm sure will not go unnoticed to him. He's been very vocal on social media, saying every time the door opens I slam it shut. This championship is mine. There's not a man in this company who can take it from me. And it's looked that way so far, ladies and gentlemen. We of course know that he will be the #1 entrance into the Royal Rumble in just a few short days, as well as the KEW champion. That is the penalty you pay. You do understand there was a stipulation that if the Assassin had managed to beat Mark and get the opportunity to be the #1 contender, he would have been first in, but he didn't take that, wasn't able to. We have to question whether that's a stipulation of this potential lock-up as well, whether if the Man Crusher wins here, she'll be the #1 contender, and that'll be, oh, not the #1 contender, she'll be the #1 out in the Rumble. It's a stipulation that Mark likes to put into a potential title contract, knowing that the Rumble's just around the corner here. And he's been a slow starter to this one, but now pulls out a big kick to the guts, drives the Man Crusher back down. You can see the Torpedo watching on from the outside. Into the corner goes the Man Crusher, now froggy splashing her out of the corner. Little frog flip there, the 2 feet going after the spine of the Man Crusher. Big knee to the jaw as well, sent her down. She might be a bit woozy after that one. A little stomp to the shoulder, going after the power core already of the Man Crusher here. Big right hook. Now gets hold of her from behind. Reverse DDT as the Torpedo's under the ring for something there. Gets a sledgehammer here out early doors. Up to the top rope goes Mark though, and diving off with a big stomp, driving the air out, goes for the cover. Oh, the referee's got the sledgehammer. He's not seen the cover, but surely that's a 3 by now, referee, and kicks out before it's even a 1. And already the Torpedo playing havoc in this matchup. And I said to watch out for it from Mark's perspective. He's had dealings with the Torpedo in the past. He's not just going to let the Torpedo's not just going to let Mark walk all over his beloved here in this one if he's got anything to do with it. And already we've seen there throwing in the sledgehammer, distracting the referee. There was definitely a 3 count in there for Mark, but the referee unable to get to it whilst he was dealing with the sledgehammer. And now Mark on the outside. You get a running drop kick there from the Man Crusher after missing his own, driven into the barricading there as well. You can see how enforced that barricading is. Of course, we've seen KEW athletes in recent weeks go flying into the barricading as Mark's driven into the knee, it looks like, of the Man Crusher here. And now the Man Crusher, you'd have to say, looks like she's in control of this one. Mark looks a bit dazed and confused. He's up now to his feet though, onto a 7 count here, hops back into the ring, and he turned his back on the Man Crusher there. I'm not quite sure what he thought he was doing or how much time he thought he had, but she's got him positioned on the rope, comes flying in, and there's the Man Crushing kiss, rolls back out of it, hooks the leg. Can she get the victory here? 1, 2. No, he rolls the shoulder at the last minute here, and she can't quite believe what she's seeing. She thought she had it sewn up there with the Man Crushing kiss, and now look, she looks like she's got something poised here. Off the rope she goes, and a big kick there. Oh, Mark sees it coming though, and again the Torpedo trying to play interference on the top corner there. Has the turnbuckle off here. Mark, diving the knee straight into the, or the headbutt maybe into the abdomen there. I'm not quite sure what it was. Now the double leg straight into the ladies area there, and off the ropes he goes. Big crossbody straight onto the floor, missing his opponent there. Mark now delivered a snap DDT into the KEW centre of the ring as the Man Crusher looks to take a modicum of control here again. She climbs up to the top rope here, and she is one athlete perhaps that Mark would not want to face here in the KEW. Up to the top rope she goes, and driving missile drop kick, and missed it completely. Like Mark just had the arms up and it didn't make full contact there. Ducks underneath, gets hold of her now, and this is one out of the Man Crusher's locker there. Maybe learnt it also from the Assassin too. And a big stomp and a kick, driving the air out of lungs. Big drop kick there, and you can see the Torpedo trying to sweep the legs. Hey, look at this. He's gone for the distraction here whilst Mark was in control, and Mark's already arguing with him on the outside here. And the Man Crusher's slow back to her feet, and Mark's still arguing with the Torpedo. It's allowed the Man Crusher to get back up to her feet here. Into the ropes goes Mark. Under goes the larger framed athlete, and the big hip toss there. Looked like the ring jiggling around all over the shop, and the torpedo is creating havoc at ringside for the KEW champion. It almost feels like he's in a 2-on-1 here as he crawls to the corner here. Diving drop kick, but she misses completely. Mark rolls out of the way at the last second. Great awareness from the KEW champion to get out of the way at the last second. The torpedo beating on the apron here, and a big suplex incoming from the KEW champ. No, she slides out of the back of it and takes him down at the knees. Nasty cheap shot there at the back of the KEW champion's knees, and drives his head into the matting here. And everything you say about the KEW champion, whilst you might not agree with his methods and the way that he got into the KEW championship, you have to say since he's been the KEW champion, he has been good value for it. He has proved to be a fighting champion. It took a while for him to get there. He pulled out some cheap tricks, early doors, chair attacks on opponents, etc. But since then, he's been putting his belt on the line when required by the KEW hierarchy. But this might be a step too far for him. Here comes the count. 3, she's done it. She's knocked off the KEW champion, ladies and gentlemen. Well, she will be the #1 contender, you'd have to say, after that. Well, she's got to at least be in the conversation, and she's celebrating with her other half. He played a major part in that one, you'd have to say, distracting the Skeleton King whilst he had the momentum, and it looked like he might be able to push forward here. And you'd have to say the hierarchy might not be happy with the involvement of her beloved, but she got a vital victory there, ladies and gentlemen. Join us next week for more thrilling KEW action at the next main pay-per-view. We'll have the Rumble. We'll see who will be in the #1 spot out of the locker room for that one. Well, only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.